So we are now here in Henford-on-Bagley, and we are with our founding Sims household, or our heir. That's going to be Thomas Godfrey. And then I'm also starting with his two younger brothers in the household with him, and that's going to be Hugo and Henry. These are going to act as our side households, but I'm going to keep them living on our main property, on our lot, until we can find them spouses, until we can get them married off, and then we are going to move them onto their own lots. There are a few other households that we'll meet kind of as we go through the game, and so we'll get to them then. But let's go ahead and load into our first house, our main household gameplay in this other places. And this is based on another Sims challenge that was created. That was the Decades Challenge, which started in the late 19th century, so the 1800s, and then brought us up to like the early 2000s. This is just taking that challenge, but putting the several hundred years ahead of it. So you're basically trying to get one Sim family to make it from 1300, the year 1300 in England. Essentially, you'll see we'll be a little anachronistic and a little bit loose with like what is really English, what is maybe some other European or maybe even outside of European culture that is showing up. But we'll be kind of shooting it generally being a nod to the era, right, and the location. But the actual challenge was set up to start in 1300s England and play through several generations there until eventually crossing the Atlantic and starting up a new life in quote unquote the New World, so in America, and then bringing it all the way up to late 1800s, which is where if you want to, you can kind of pick up the regular Decades Challenge. So the rules are that you need to start with a teen or a young adult Sim. Part of this is really going to depend on also if you're gonna, for me, I'd say I'm starting with a young adult Sim because I have some mods, but I haven't I haven't made any corrections to like allow teens to marry and things like that, and I just didn't want to get into that. But who knows, maybe I'll change that later. But the idea is that you want to get them married off like ASAP. They need to get started because they need to start having babies. And as we get into it, we'll see that there's just so many threats in this old world. There's so many things that can kill people off. So to make sure that we actually have one era that makes it through, we got to do that. Other things are, we are going to make sure that that young adult that is the founder or the first in the line is male, just because that is trying to keep in touch and in touch with the times that it's sent in. That although there were some women who had land ownership, a lot of times that was because it was willed to them through their fathers or through their husbands. And obviously, if they were to have children, it would probably either be from that other marriage, and those children would end up inheriting, and the oldest son probably would inherit, or if she remarried, then she would, it would all go through her husband's line. So since we're going through a patrilineal type of inheritance, we're going to start with a man, and then we're going to be looking for male Sims to carry on the line. You have to start as a peasant. Like, we want this to be challenging, so not only could you like die from a million things and all that stuff that's going on, it's just like also rough. So once we finish the last little bit of setup, I am going to zero out their household balance, because that is also going to be a starting condition. There's some other rules that have to do with certain kinds of other packs. And then there are some limitations on what you can actually do to earn money to support and grow your Sims family. Basically, at this point, they're not allowed to have any of the careers because none of them would really make sense for the time period. So you can grow produce. There are some restrictions about which ones you can grow and which ones you can, like per season. You can fish, you can paint, woodwork, make candles, knit, have like cows and chickens, and cross stitch if you have any of those packs. Let's just look at what we know about Thomas really quickly. I do have him pulled up. So he is a young adult. He is loyal, an animal enthusiast, family oriented, and a collector. I also see that he is a caregiver and innocent. These are some of the personality, some additional personality mods we have. And he's kind of the leader of this group of folks. And then let's look at these other guys. So we have Hugo, who is currently also a young adult. He's loyal, loves outdoors, is an animal enthusiast, and business savvy, which we'll see what that means here. Obviously, there's merchants and business that does take place in this town, but mostly he just has a fortune aspiration. He's seen that he already has a little bit of upward mobility in his life, and he just wants to shoot for the stars. So he's going to be going for that. And then Henry, who we have right here, he is just all about animals. He just loves animals. So he's an animal enthusiast. He is a dog lover, a cat lover. He's got that animal affection trait for all of that. And he's just kind of a caregiver in his heart. So that's really sweet for him. And of course, he is also a young adult. Because we did create the parents for these founder Sims generation, I actually have to do a dice roll to find out if they even survive this current life stage and some things like that to do setup. So I'm going to go ahead and get these instructions up here. So I'm going to do it for the elder Godfrey's, and then the next door neighbors, the Bond family. That is who we're going to be marrying into. I'll do it for their elders as well. And I think it's just, we're going to do a death roll as if they are becoming adults. So they're not, people used to have kids young, so their children are young adults. The parents, the elders, quote unquote, are actually not elders, they are adults. So this is going to be like a D20 roll. And so I'm just going to do it with like random number generator. And we're going to say between 1 and 20. It's actually going to be between 2 and 20. Nope, I'm not doing it with 2 dice. I'm doing it with 1. So we actually could have a 1, unless that is not one of the options. No, it is. Okay, so each stage of life is going to have a different death roll. So basically a different percentage chance that you're going to make it past that stage of life. So it actually starts back with birth to make sure that the babies make it. And then when they the babies age up to infants, toddler, child, whatever, right? So we are going to be rolling for an adult, and our notes here are saying that we actually have, yeah. So anything under a 9, anything less than 9 is dead. Oh, okay. Let's do. We haven't even got to play them. If they die, I'm gonna be sad that I even took time to make them. But you know what? That's how it is. Okay. So let's go ahead. Let's just do it for Thomas's family first. So we have Philip here, and we are gonna do his roll. Oh, it is 15. So he is fine. He is still gonna live his life. He's cool. Okay, let's do it for Emma. And it's 18. So she made it as well. Okay, yay. Okay. All right, let's go for Petrus. Oh, he got a 9. That's okay, because the rules are less than 9. So he just made it. All right, and then we need to do it for Matilda, for Cecily's mom. And I hope she makes it, because I know Cecily wants her mom to be at her wedding. So 15. Okay. Whew. Okay, everybody made it. We're good. The Godfrey homestead, and the people who live here are the 3 Godfrey brothers. Now, they are tenant farmers. They are farming on the land of Baron Watson, and the Watson family. So in this game, in this world, all of New Old Henford, Old New Henford, all that area is basically the land of the Baron, which means it's under his protection, but he also has different families and different Sims who live on that land in various relationships. And so the two kinds of relationships that we're going to see in the families we have right now are going to be these kind of tenant farmers. So it's on his land, they're kind of under his protection, but like they're kind of their own free agents. They are freemen, and they pay rent to him for the use of the land, but basically whatever they make is theirs, and there's no like contract limits. If they were going to move, they could leave, though they don't have any reason why they would want to do that right now, because they did just kind of get established here. Now their parents, they are still serfs or villains. They are still living on this land as well, but they are under that kind of serf contract. So they are farming and working for the Baron. You know, they're basically reliant on him, and they're legally obligated to him. There are a few ways that you can get out of that relationship. There's a few reasons why you might end up in that relationship, but you can also get out of that relationship. Usually the two common ones are going to be getting money and then buying your way out. And the other is through other kinds of service, usually some kind of military or battle service. And that is how our three young men were able to get released from that requirement, because there are times, like I said, that all these Sims are under the protection of the Baron. But what that really means is that there are times where he needs to send people to fight. He's not necessarily going to do all that fighting himself. And so he needed some people to go off and do some battles in the last few years. And these three men were able to do that and made it back alive and safe. And so part of that agreement was that they would be released from their serfdom. Their parents were not part of that deal. So their parents were not released under that. Their parents are kind of used to the way of life. It's what they've always known. They feel like they're getting older, and so they're not super worried about trying to get out of that relationship. They're pretty content with their lifestyle right now, but we may see them come and, spend time here at this new homestead for the family. And privately, so Thomas is saying that he kind of respects that, and he's going to let them do whatever. But privately and in talks with his brothers, they are planning that if they're able to get the funds together, that they may try to actually buy their parents out of that contract or out of that serfdom, so they can come live and be freemen with them. The third way that people, that I understand that people would have gotten out of these relationships is there are different kind of guidelines, I'm sure, in different counties or different areas, but generally it seems like if you were able to actually just physically escape and remain escaped in another town for at least a period of a year, then they were like, whatever, statute of limitations is up, you're free. But none of these folks are trying to leave the area right now. We are now ready to do our summer planting since it's the first day of summer. Because Thomas is trying to show, hopefully, his future father-in-law, who's looking real pissed off over there. He is a little hot-headed. That he is trying to show him that, that he's ready to support the family, to have, that he's ready to take on this next step, and that he's ready. So he's invited them over, the other family, so that they can get together. It's not their whole family, but he's invited Cecily, who is his fiance. Oh my goodness. The moms are getting into it. What is happening over here? Okay, let's take a look at who we have. So right here, looking all kinds of sad. I'll have to move them over. But yeah, basically it looked like we're already having some fighting here. So this was Matilda Bond. So this is Cecily's mother, and Cecily is Thomas's fiance. And right here we have Emma Godfrey, who is Thomas's mother. We also have Philip, and of course we've got brothers, and then Petrus. I need to make sure I've got my lot challenges set. So we are going to go in and do the lot challenges for off-grid. So nothing uses electricity because they just wouldn't have had that then. And then simple living. So basically, if you have, you have to have all the ingredients if you want to make food. I can also do creepy crawlies. It's not part of the rules, and obviously if you have a lot of Sims packs, you'll see I don't have a ton of them, so there's other lot challenges that you might have in your game, but I think I'm just going to do that. Now, I don't think there's any rules. I will go back and change this if I figure out I'm wrong. I don't think there's any rules about lot traits though, and I'm going to go ahead. Let's see, bracing breezes. I don't know. I'm not ready for all the cats to come around. Maybe what I'll do is I'll just kind of say as we get going. So they've already got it set up. I'm going to say we're going to go ahead and give it homey right now because, well, no, that's not what I'm going to do. I am going to go ahead and I'm going to add these as they get more established, and as it would make sense that like this would become a better place for this. Natural light, private dwelling science there. We're definitely not gonna have a vampire nexus. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and leave those blank right now. Okay. So in our setup, lot challenges need to be there. When we get started, we will be able to have as many animals from cottage living, which is installed in this game, as we can afford. So when we do our little tour, you'll see that there are some places for those animals to go, though we don't have them yet. Just a reminder, there's no electricity, and for bathing, there's only the wooden bathtub. I'm actually going to try to do this where they don't even have a bathtub in their home for the first few years at least. And so at least like once a week or a few times a week, they're going to need to go into town and visit the bathhouse, which was a really common thing in this period of time, as I understand it, to go ahead and get scrubbed down there. We're going to really be trying to keep it only to wooden furniture, of course, and using stone, dirt, wood for like walls, any of the building, and straw roofs. Let's see. Obviously, no like coffee and tea brewers, DJ equipment, all of those things, and there's restrictions about what kinds of paintings can be done. So at this time, they're saying it would only be landscape, classic, or portraits. And we do have our clothing line and wash basin. And I did put a few laundry bins around so their clothing will get dirty, so they will have to do that. Cool. So that means we are going to get on with the planting. And so everyone else is kind of here, but they're not necessarily here to do work. So I'm going to get Philip planting these mushrooms. We'll have Hugo planting this sage. And we'll have Henry work on planting the blackberries. So in the rules for this challenge, you actually have seasonal plants that you can grow, but then there's also a few, or not even just plants, because I guess you could plant whatever flowers, but it's food products like I don't know what words are, food that you can grow. And so you are restricted at this point in time. And so I think I said earlier there was the blackberry and the blueberry. I actually don't know where the heck you find the blueberry. These blackberries, I just pull them out of debug, honestly. And then year round, you're also able to try to grow watermelons, which is wild to me because I feel like watermelons wouldn't grow a lot of seasons. But you can legally do that within the game rules. And then you can also do mushrooms and sage. So I went ahead and pulled those out as well. just for fun, let me actually, before you go planting those, I want you to go ahead and open up this, and then you can get back to planting blackberries. I didn't find those in my perusal of the catalog, but I'm sure they're there and I just missed it. But you know what, if we happen to find blueberries growing around Henford, then we can go ahead and like grab those when we're in town. So we're only supposed to be doing our harvesting of our crops once a week. So yeah, so, or sorry, not once a week, once once a season, but I have my season set to 7 days. So only once a week we're going to be harvesting, and we're only going to harvest that, you know, that set of crops once then. So basically whatever we get for blackberries here is all we're going to get for the year. Oh, good. It looks like Henry was in a good enough mood. He likes gardening. Excellent. So you're going to be able to keep doing that. Let's also go ahead and take a look and see. Yeah, I'm going to have to go ahead and sell those. And like I said, I'm still going to set them to 0 after I sort things out today, but I just want to make sure in case there's any last things I was allowed for setup that I haven't done, that I have the opportunity to do that. So, yeah, so the guys are all here. Henry's getting some skill. Hopefully nobody comes over and just like starts eating. All right, Emma is like, son, I have to tell you about fish. Now that you're not living with me, you need to know about perch. Oh no, maybe she's learning from him. What was that fish you got the other day? I really liked cooking that fish, so I want to do that again. I don't know. And then over here, we've got the other family. Oh my goodness. We got Matilda over here, and let's just go ahead and look and see. Can I see her profile? Oh, I'm not gonna, I don't want to jump into cheats right now. But she's not super happy with her daughter. Like, she's like, I don't know, are you ready for this? And her daughter's like, Mom, I'm a grown-up now. I'm like 20, maybe 18. I'm 20. I can totally do this. I'm ready. And her mom's like, no, I don't know. What about your siblings? There's a little bunny. Families are really tough, you guys. Look at the bunny. Can you say hello to the bunny? Oh my goodness. I mean, oh, thank you. Thank you, Hugo, for going in and continuing to do this planting, because apparently, even though Henry said he liked it, he's like, I got real bored real quick. Plant that. Oh, that's right. And Henry is the animal enthusiast. So yeah, let's have him chat a little bit more and try to like get his social. I don't know if he might get a little too excited. Let's see how that goes if he's petting it enthusiastically. Uh-oh. his friendship was not there. Oh, we gotta. Oh, okay. We have a fox. All right, so that's happening. He's just a little extra enthusiastic. All right, so we've got Grumpy Petrus over here. He's like, blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. You and my wife have beef. I don't know if we really want our daughter to marry your son. What kind of family is this? You serfs? I don't, yeah, he's just a little hot-headed. He's just, you know, a product of his time. I think both of the dads are a little hot-headed, to be honest. And then what we have over here, so let me be this guy. Hugo. I just want to see them. Why am I so silly and I can't see this? Maybe it's, oh, I have to go over here. Open profile. Yeah, so he is kind of hot for Matilda, which is kind of awkward because his his brother is about to marry her daughter, and also her husband is like right over there. So, you know, if he gets into trouble, he gets into trouble. It is what it is. Let's actually see how Thomas is feeling about his fiance. I don't know why I'm so silly and keep clicking the wrong things. Okay, Cecily. So he thinks she is very attractive, which is good because they're gonna get married and we're gonna try to have a lot of babies. They're sweethearts, they're engaged, and they're also neighbors. That's kind of, you know, they've been growing up in the same towns. They've known each other for a while. She is family oriented, good, and neat. She just really wants to be like the perfect wife. And so that's what she's looking forward to doing. All right. Now, the other thing we want to do before it gets too late is we want to go ahead and let's see where the closest fishing spot is. Oh, we've got some birds over here. We might go meet them later with our animal lover. Oh, we have the blueberries. All right, go get some. Oh, it's not ready to harvest. We're not going to do that yet then. But do we have to go all the way into town? Gross. Gross, gross, gross. Wow, my mouse is really loud. Huh. Oh wait, can you go fishing here? I'm gonna pause. I don't know what trouble they're getting up to over there. Oh, good. Okay. Okay. We just need to go across and then we can go here. How about that's a good thing for some of the guys to go do. So actually we should do that as well. Let's go gather some water and then we are gonna make a group and we're gonna take our brothers and we're gonna take our future father-in-law and we're gonna go ahead and form a group and hopefully impress him with our fishing skills. We'll see. Okay. Yeah, you have to go over there and then here in the little pond. So we're not gonna fish in the river, but we can fish over here. And then we're gonna like, yeah, go fishing together. Okay. He's just like, bye, I'll see you guys at the fishing hole, right? So I'm sure they will all just finish up their little conversation and then hopefully they'll go follow him down because he is getting water first. Let's go ahead and I'm just gonna pop these walls down a little bit and take a look at the houses. So this is going to be where Thomas stays. And I have a little cooking pit for him so he can like grill some things, but of course we actually have to have those. So I'm really hoping to catch some fish so he can at least cook some fish on the stick. We also have our ye old cookbook. And so there are some things that we can make here depending on, you know, what ingredients we have. Meals, chicken, carrot, potato, spinach, and every herb. Oh, you want me to have a different kind of stove for this? Well, we're gonna start with the fish and then maybe we will upgrade their stove. So we'll just start with that. He's got his little bed, and then I thought this was fun when I was looking around at some setups for medieval 1300s, 14th century houses. I saw a few signs that actually have the chicken coop in the house, which actually could be really nice, especially, you know, in the maybe the later fall, the winter, early spring when the weather isn't very nice. But I just thought that would be kind of fun to have the chickens actually running around inside the house. And then this is going to be, oh, I gotta move that somewhere because of course you have to have that somewhere. And I must have not put one in because yeah. Anyhow, so the brothers are going to live over here. I also gave them a woodworking table because that's something that I imagine that Hugo was into. Is that what I was thinking? Yeah, so like Henry, again, he's, well, I don't know. Maybe Henry will decide that he'd rather do woodworking than hunting since he loves animals so much. So maybe that's what we'll end up doing. But all right, so some of the folks have started to head home, which is fine. They got to see what he had set up, but all the guys are out here still doing their fishing. Oh, look at that. Excellent. Look at my brother go. What a great fishing spot. Oh, and Thomas got one too. Okay, you guys are rocking it. I don't know if you can ask him to, like, if you can like specifically go fishing with him, or if he can ask about I always forget where things are. Maybe like just in here, or no. Hobbies? Discuss local fishing spots? I don't know. I don't know. I'll get to him later. We're not going to worry about the Moody McMillan household. They are still in the game. All of the original Henford families are in the game. I'm just kind of readjusting their stories and bringing them back to more of a 14th century life. Oh, that looks delicious. That log, that was really heavy fish, if you thought it was a fish. So it's getting kind of late, but it is summer, so they can stay out a little bit later. So I'm gonna probably let them keep fishing until about 8. He's got a goldfish. Can you, oh, he's got a treasure map. And he's got a bass. Oh, and Thomas got that perch that we were just talking about. So I'll give him a few more minutes, but they did actually get some fish for the night, and he was able to pick up some water. Maybe each of these guys can grab some water as well. So we can all do that. And then, oh, I thought maybe he got one more thing. What is that? What did he just get? Oh, an orange topaz. Okay. All right. Well, that's kind of nice. They're just kind of hanging out together. Why doesn't he just go ahead and ask him about yeah, let's just talk about the local fishing spots. We're done fishing for right now. Oh, hey, Dad. You're back. Oh, you're gonna go fishing too. Mom's like, oh, there's perch. Great. Oh, okay, they're getting on real nice. So that's good. And let's see. He is going to say, oh, small talk. So he's gonna like check in on Petrus and kind of wants to know like, hey, are we cool? Because I know we're all going to church tomorrow because it is, it's actually a holiday. So our first holiday of the summer is Midsummer, and they are going to go off and attend their holiday ceremony. And then there's going to be some fun in the evening where they're going to maybe light a bonfire and, or maybe they've already got their candles lit, so they're good there. Have some party spirit, maybe do some water stuff. But basically they're going to celebrate the longest day of the year. And it was really customary if you're going to go to church. Basically, you go to church for every holiday. That's what they're going to be doing. And or to their celebration, their holiday celebration. But they basically would have been going to church. And instead of having a wedding be its entirely own event, what I'm reading is that a lot of times there's just like after the mass or after the service, the priest would come over and just kind of like meet you on the front steps of the church, or just kind of meet you maybe in the church and just be like, is everybody cool? You guys all want to get married? If there was like a dowry that needed to be exchanged, that would be exchanged. But like your family was already there because you were all going to the church service already, so they'd just hang out. for that, and then you're married. Oh, he's leaving by falling through the dock. Okay, anyhow, you guys can all let's ungroup ourselves, but then we are gonna all go home. Disband, and then home, home, home. Okay. And our friend Thomas really needs to use the bathroom. I have not been doing a good job just even paying attention to their needs at all. Anyhow, so we're gonna go home. I think he's gonna use the bathroom. We're gonna go and cook some fish, I think would probably be a good idea, and then get to sleep. And then we are going to have they are gonna get married. Okay, just going back and checking on that sim we ran past. Going home. Oh, and we can check out. Oh, Mom's back. She's like, do you know where your father is? I haven't seen him come home yet. Okay, can we use this? Yes. We're gonna go ahead and use the toilets because we're pretty uncomfortable. Oh yeah, I need to turn off utility usage. There should not be that. And we're gonna do that as well. Yeah, so we have the little chicken coop in there, and then we've got the animal shed. Okay, why did that not work? What's going on? There you go. So what we'll do is we'll have that one, and then I'm also, I don't know if that will count as like our bonfire or whatever for the midsummer tomorrow, but we'll try that out. Otherwise we might have them build another bonfire, like build. Oh, see, you're saying it's out of season. What mushrooms is she talking about? Is it the big cottage living mushrooms? It might be. Because they're supposed to work all the time. Bro, you, oh, you're gonna eat your food. I was like, why are you so happy to just be awake? All right, so he's doing that. I'm gonna go ahead and pop into build by. I am going to go ahead and just like toss this somewhere. I don't even know. And I purposely did not give them a trash bin for the lot. I'm trying to see if they will go ahead and just wash all their dishes in the sink, if that will take care of it. If not, then you know, it is what it is. Okay, what else are we gonna buy today? I think we're just gonna go ahead and buy let's just do a fire pit. Let's just have it. Like, why would they not have a fire pit? And I'm gonna do one of the ones that is like, yeah, this is like the, well, that doesn't really make sense. I want to do one of those that is not for fish, for food. Yeah, this looks like just, I don't know, which one do I like better? Because this one is cool, but it's got those, the pallets on it, so that doesn't really make sense. Do we want to do... Let's do, I don't know, this one just looks more basic, so here's what I'm gonna do. Yeah, because it's just gonna be like over here, and then we can do our carousing and everything tomorrow. All right, I think that is it, so I'm gonna go ahead and put money to 0. Oh no. I mean, I can always cheat again if I need to bring something back in if I really miss something, but I think that's it. So he's sitting here having his little meal. His brothers are asleep, Okay, he's getting some motives up. He says he wants to volunteer with family. I'm not going to worry about that. And he wants to chat with Matilda. Maybe that's because he got a chance to talk to Dad yesterday or earlier today, and he wants to make sure Mom's cool before the wedding. All right, I think you should just go to bed, my dude. Can you get in there? Is that going to work? Or did I lock a door or do something weird? Is that what was going on before? In the corner. Is that the problem? Is the chicken coop in the way? I mean, I've got move objects on, I think. Can you go to bed? Bro, why can you not go in there? Alright, well, I'm going to solve that, and then I'm going to send him to bed, and then in the morning we are going to do the holiday and the wedding, and we will be moving Cecily in. Alright, good night!